If this episode makes you think, please let us know in the comments and support us by subscribing and leaving a review. Thank you. Today we are exploring Hofstam's AI policy in Central Florida school districts, where 9 neighbouring districts have produced noticeably different rules for the same technology. The source is AI in Central Florida Classrooms, a district-by-district policy breakdown, published by Click Orlando and News 6 on August 13th, 2026, by investigative producer Erica Briguglio. It examines how districts are responding to student AI use, teacher responsibilities, cheating, deepfakes, and data privacy. Maria Salamanca, Vice Chair of the Orange County School Board, described the work as building a plane while flying. I understand the sentiment. The technology keeps changing, schools need rules now, and nobody can honestly claim to know every consequence. But children are already on the plane, so the engineering still needs to be rather good. What struck me was how much agreement sits beneath the differences. Across these policies, AI generally needs teacher permission. Sensitive student data must be protected. Users should disclose AI involvement and check outputs for errors or bias. Human judgment remains essential, especially for grading, discipline, graduation, and decisions about additional support. That's a sensible foundation for AI guidelines for teachers. The difficult part is turning a foundation into consistent daily practice. Consider the variation in the student AI use policy across districts. Orange County Public Schools prohibit students by default from using AI to brainstorm, outline, draft, revise, or edit submitted work, unless a teacher gives documented permission. Volusia County Schools allows uses such as brainstorming, understanding difficult texts, and improving grammar, provided they're authorized and acknowledged. In Lake County Schools, students in some career and technical education classes have used a controlled writing tool connected to a teacher's rubric. Those distinctions matter. AI is allowed with permission sounds clear in a policy meeting. In a school, it can mean 6 teachers setting 6 different boundaries for the same student. One teacher permits feedback but not drafting. Another allows brainstorming. A third says no AI at all. The student then has to remember which rule applies to which assignment, platform, and stage of work. That's not necessarily a reason to impose one rule on every subject. Professional judgment matters. Using ChatGPT to generate an entire personal narrative isn't equivalent to using Google Gemini to reorganize notes before a science test. But districts need a common language describing levels of assistance. Otherwise, permission becomes a legal shield rather than useful instructional guidance. Think about a Year 8 geography lesson on coastal erosion. A student might ask AI to suggest 3 explanations for why one section of coastline retreats faster than another. The learning sits in testing those suggestions against maps, local data, and primary evidence. If the tool writes the final explanation and the student copies it, productive struggle disappears. If it offers claims the student must challenge, compare, and improve, AI can create cognitive stretch. The real value is not in what the machine produces, but in how the student responds. Orange County Public Schools and Brevard Public Schools also deserve credit for refusing to treat AI detection software as definitive proof of cheating. Orange County requires supporting evidence such as document histories, previous writing samples, or a conversation with the student. Brevard allows detection results only as a starting point for inquiry. That's far more responsible than outsourcing a disciplinary decision to software that can wrongly label human writing as machine-generated. Some consequences listed in the article reach suspension, expulsion, or staff termination. That raises the standard of evidence considerably. A student shouldn't face life-changing consequences because a probability score looked suspicious. Machines can compute. They cannot exercise the contextual judgment needed to decide whether a child cheated. If you value practical analysis of AI in education, follow or subscribe for more conversations like this. The strongest sections of the article concern governance and procurement. Katie Campbell said Brevard Public Schools will publish its approved software list. Don Foley explained that Flagless Schools provides enterprise access to Google Gemini and ChatGPT, alongside education-focused platforms. Approved accounts can offer stronger privacy controls than ordinary consumer services, although the precise contractual safeguards still need scrutiny. I did pause over the language banning open source tools because of security risks. Open source means the underlying software can be inspected or modified. It doesn't automatically mean insecure. A closed commercial system isn't automatically safe either. The real questions concern where information goes, whether prompts are retained, who can access them, how long they're stored, and whether they're used to train future models. Policy language needs technical precision because vague terminology can produce poor procurement decisions. Access is another underexplored issue. If students are prohibited from public AI tools, but approved platforms aren't equally available across schools, homes, disability needs, and languages, compliance may depend on privilege. AI tools for education could provide translation, text-to-speech, write-in feedback, and personalized explanation for the middle 80% of students who don't always attract formal intervention. Yet accessibility only works as an equalizer when it's designed into provision, rather than added after purchasing decisions have been made. The article records a lot of training activity, but it doesn't give us much evidence about impact. Lake County Schools says it has trained thousands of teachers since 2024. The school district of Osceola County plans to appoint between 20 and 30 AI fellows, splitting their attention roughly equally between instruction and operational efficiency. Seminole County Public Schools spent 2 years gathering survey data and piloting tools across several age groups. All of that sounds promising. I'd still want to know what changed. Did teacher workload fall? Did student writing improve? Were factual errors caught more reliably? Did staff confidence survive beyond the training session? Tool adoption rates tell leaders very little about learning quality. Professional development also needs to reach beyond buttons and features. Give a department head 1 hour to plan useful staff development, and I'd suggest bringing 3 AI-generated lesson resources, including one with a subtle factual error and another with hidden bias. Ask teachers to inspect, verify, and adapt them together. That builds collaborative reasoning rather than platform dependency. The article shows policy moving in a healthier direction. Human oversight, approved systems, transparent use and restrictions on automated high-stakes decisions. Yet written policy can't carry the whole burden. Schools need clear assignment level expectations, protected training time, accessible tools, credible review processes, and communication with families. Governments need to resist announcing broad AI ambitions without funding that local capacity. Good AI policy in school districts should reduce ambiguity without removing professional judgment. It should be firm about privacy and harm, flexible about legitimate learning, and humble enough to change when evidence changes. Most of all, it should protect the student's responsibility to think. A policy controls access. Good learning design determines whether AI strengthens thought or quietly replaces it. That's all for today. Thanks for listening.